spun around is the hard part. Try to push it.
To the right just a little bit.
Watch the back on the pallet back there.
Alright. That'll clear the pallet jack.
Okay.
So we get past it, then I can cut it harder.
Good over here.
Today is the day we're going to work on this little Roadster pickup that we're going to build into a jalopy shop truck. So we're going to get this thing pulled out, try and get it torn apart, get the body off, see what we're working with, and maybe get the other frame in here and get it all cleaned up and the extra stuff taken off. We'll see where we get today, but it should be fun.
I got it together. It rolls now. It's sitting pretty darn cool. It sits a little high in the rear, I think, but that's also kind of the look we're going for this build. Really psyched on how this came together. Can't wait to start working on getting the engine running and then eventually getting the engine in this thing. Get all bolted up. That's going to be the next step that's going to really transform this truck and make it look like a cool hot rod shop truck runner. we have this old McCullough flathead engine. So this has an early, I think this is a 1939 McCullough supercharger kit that is on a 1937 Ford flathead engine. We'll see if we can get this thing to run. Then we're gonna do a little bit of taking it apart and inspecting it and putting some new gaskets and stuff like that on it to try and get it freshened up so it's ready to put in the truck.
Boogered up.
It is a little bit.
They didn't clean the thing up before they put this head. They didn't clean it. Look at the mess.
Yeah, you're right. It's like not clean at all.
No, they just slapped a head gasket on over the mess that was on there.
It looks like at some point this engine's definitely been, we didn't pull the intake off, just doing this suspect side, but it's got, looks like I cleaned this piston up, Ford logo pistons, like factory replacement pistons that are 60 over. You could see the remnants of old gasket here. So there was probably like a fiber gasket on this before, and there is like tons and tons of fuzzy remnants of the old gasket. We got water in it, fuel tank hooked up. We're leaking water all over the place because of our setup, but it should tell us what it's gonna do. So, open the throttle a little bit.
Yeah, try that.
See in there's literally like there's like a freaking mountain of sand in that gas tank.
Good boy. Good boy. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. That's it. Stay. Good boy.
Right, the front one's flashing, so that's a good sign that the rear one works.
Doesn't ride that bad.
No, it ain't terrible.
right, just got back from our test drive. Did you guys hear the... All right, so we got back from our test drive. Everything went pretty well. This is the first time we've driven it. This is probably just as far this time as we've driven it any other time. At one point, Steve's like, hey, we lost our tailgate. I'm like, well, I don't think we lost it, but it definitely is hanging down. So luckily it didn't break our really cool taillight. It did put a dent in it, and yeah, oh, wow, it's like hanging down. Wow, that was really lucky that that didn't, it's like just hanging there. So, whoopsies. All right, so we kind of took our first maiden voyage outside of just our neighborhood with the Roadster pickup, and it is super cool. Mike and I taking this for a drive, we were just discussing how it was like not that long ago we were pulling this body and frame out of a barn in Texas, and who would have thought, fast forward, we're driving it through my hometown and some of my favorite back roads, and we're cruising around with a blown flathead and all this neat stuff kind of put together from all of our different adventures. That's the most satisfying thing, is that all these parts and cars and stuff that we grab all over the country and we search for, when you can put it together into a car like this and say, this engine came from North Carolina, from Brian and his mother, and his dad had, and you know, the body came from Texas and the rear came from here, and so on and so forth. And it's just really, really satisfying to put all those pieces together, go down the road, and it works. I mean, as many times as you do this, it's still just super, super cool. So pretty much the plan with this truck is just to start driving it more and more, putting more miles on it, refining it just like we always do. We decided to do this video kind of right after getting it going, because some of the other cars, what ends up happening is I just drive them and then we don't make the time to do these kind of wrap-up videos. So that's why we put this video together shortly after driving it, but it is really, really awesome, and the thing is going to age together and look like it was built like this in 1946. In just, you know, a couple of summers of driving, this thing should look just like this. So thank you guys for following along. Hopefully a bunch of you have followed along since the first day that we got this and can see the transformation and maybe inspire you to put together some kind of cool old antique car or hot rod. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Catch you later.